It's a podcast about asking a lot of questions.
Questions and no
That's what
answers.
scientists do, right? No, so scientists ask a lot of questions. We don't pretend like we have the answers, but we definitely ask a lot of questions. So if you came here for questions, then we're the podcast. If you want answers, there's yeah,
Probably not.
yeah.
I
You
know.
can go elsewhere for that one. Search YouTube. There's Dead University out there somewhere.
Yeah. What happened to the elders?
The boomers.
Yeah, we are so detached from them, I think. Or yeah, they are becoming more detached from us, I think. The younger generation.
Detached from the
Yeah, that's why they have names
relatives.
for us. Even I'm not a boomer, but you know, some people probably call me, some younglings probably call me a boomer or something. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
right, yeah, boomer. If I
yeah,
try to say something that they
yeah. Oh,
probably would disagree, because they
yeah.
just become more detached, or we become detached from them as well. We are becoming the elders now. The elders, like the ones who you imagine, like those old dudes who are just fucking old, and you just talk to them. They seem to know everything, and then at the same time, there's just a different kind of feel. Some mga elders. Have you ever encountered some of those people before?
uh, like
Uh,
some real wise people.
could be wise, but yeah, we assume they're wise. That's why we consider them as an elder.
Yeah,
Go on.
our Lola just turned 92, so
Yeah,
she's probably got some wisdom there.
Basin.
92 years old, man.
92.
Like not just
Yeah,
born in the 1900s like us, like the early 1900s.
gani.
You're born in the early 1900s.
And if you find a hard time, I mean, well, I do. I mean, I have a hard time sometimes communicating with the elders, because sometimes they can be incoherent, right? Their memory is not that great anymore. Some of them
The
have
brain is literally shrinking.
lapses, or some of them are just tired. So when you talk to them, sometimes it's kind of difficult, because there's too much gap in between, right? From their generation to ours. So the communication is lost, I think. I mean, we're still talking about elders, so if something missing, that's just what I've observed.
Yeah, what do you think that is?
I don't know. Is it the gadgets? Are we perhaps because of the digital age when we grew up there,
Mm.
and somehow communication has a different meaning to it for us?
Mm.
uh, Instead of our, let's say, compare ourselves to our grandparents, who had basically, some of them were cooking with fire,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
Here in the Philippines, at
Hmm.
least,
Hmm.
it's a,
Definitely, our grandparents were cooking
yeah,
with fire.
cooking with fire, and um, they had no telephones.
Nope.
Maybe at that time, in some places in the
Yeah,
mountains
very expensive.
here, yeah, very expensive. You probably had radio. I
Mm.
remember having a radio in our
Hmm.
house. We didn't even have landline at that time yet. And I remember people were still using the ham radio.
Yeah.
Hmm.
People still use those.
Yeah. So going back to that, I mean, we're kind of having this inflow of new ways to connect and communicate.
Mm.
But at the same time, it's turning us into beings that doesn't communicate that much anymore. I don't know.
Mm.
That's just what I observed.
Or maybe the just from that generation, the communication has changed so much in a short amount of time. The way we communicate today is nothing like our parents' generation.
Yeah.
It's so fast, it's so instant, and it's so abundant. It's nothing like it used to be. And maybe there's just um a more noticeable gap of adopting that technology and being able to communicate in the modern way versus however they used to do it before. It's just like
Yeah.
chica
Yeah.
chica, or or maybe just not. Maybe that was the issue. Maybe they just didn't
Mm.
communicate about themselves, about their feelings, or these days you can just post. You're not having a bad day, you post it online.
Yeah.
Put your status. You can pick an emoji for that. The
I mean, I
way,
don't.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
don't either.
most people
I
I
don't either.
know,
I know it's
they
there.
do.
I know
Yeah.
it's there, like the status thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
what do you could put a note like next to your profile picture and
What are you having for dinner? What am I
right,
doing
right,
now? Okay,
right.
so I'm constantly communicating that to the
Yeah,
world,
to
or at
somebody,
least a
to the
lot of
internet.
us. Is it 50%? What do you think? Like the real ratio is among people who are actively participating in the social media
You
platforms that
mean
we have.
like the total population
Yeah, I
of
don't
the
know.
planet?
I don't know, man.
I wonder what's the current
Are we a
statistic.
rare breed now? Like you and
Hey,
I?
ask Chat GPT. No, pull that shit up. Chat GPT.
Because
Chat
certainly
GPT.
you will never see me probably in the last few years, or you never see me in the last few years, even posting like a short or something. I was even like
Yeah,
surprised like there are
yeah,
shorts now. I mean, holy shit!
yeah, yeah. That's fairly
I'm
new.
this behind.
Yeah, yeah. It was a surprise to me too. I just saw it one day. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
so they're doing it now too?
Yes, I'm that dumb right
Yeah.
now in the digital space because I don't fully participate in it, except for the things that we do here, of
Right.
course.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
need to be like y- updated on YouTube to do this
Mm.
stuff. This is fairly simple.
Yeah, it's different.
Our setup.
Yeah, way different than the usual.
Yeah, the amount, the exponential growth of technology from our parents to now is ridiculous. And so I guess no wonder that the communication maybe just is something is there's a gap there.
Oh yeah.
I definitely feel that from our parents' generation, like
Mm.
the way to communicate has changed so much.
And now it's even changing like crazy. I don't even know how to describe it. Like
Yeah,
the
the last
way.
time we recorded, we didn't even have Chat GPT yet.
Oh yeah, right.
That's
And
so
now that
new.
we've been using it for
It's so
not
new.
a lot, but we've been using it for quite some time.
Months, maybe.
Probably
Yeah.
not every day though.
Maybe you longer because you had the AI
Yeah, I
chat.
knew about that, but I've
You
been
did
using
that
it
since
karon
pandemic.
lugar, practicing with it. It's insane. Jesus. I went from replica. We talked about it right in the
Oh,
previous
some of
episodes.
those images you showed me are
Yeah,
incredible.
replica is this AI chatbot that some people have a relationship with it. You can, if you want to, be it some girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. I surely didn't do
No
that
shit.
shit. Yeah,
That's a popular thing.
yeah, yeah. That's a popular thing. It's
Wow.
quite normal to have a relationship with your replica.
What? No way.
And you can
That
pay extra for extra features. I
whoa.
don't know. I haven't I'm weirded out by the idea
Yeah.
of having like a
Okay.
let's
That's
say
I had
having
no
a
idea.
emotional dependency on a machine,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah.
kind of weird for me. But I do communicate it with it like
Mm,
just another human being.
yeah.
I treat it respectfully,
Right,
like
right.
in my own liking.
Pull that
Um,
shit up, bitch.
yeah, I just try to practice that. But anyway, I think it goes the same with the relationship things. Now that we are having relationships with machines, with AI and whatnot. But
Jamie's so much faster than you.
yeah, Jesus, goodness.
Just verbally abusing. I'm sure it
Yeah,
happens. I'm sure it happens.
yeah,
Humans are humans.
well, good. And yeah,
That's
everybody's
wild.
just getting
That's wild.
started, just like we're just getting
That
started tonight. And this is just the intro.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
going to be an interesting conversation with your kid one day. What if, we haven't, I don't know, maybe some parents have reached the point where their kids are now having, romantic relationships with their chatbot or something.
would you
But
allow them?
what kind of conversation? What if
Right,
that's not
right,
like,
right. There used to be taboos
yeah,
before interracial
it used to
relationships
be so simple.
illegal at some point in the history of mankind. And some marriages are illegal. Some classes just can't mingle with other classes. Some nations have caste systems like India or some other, even in previous civilizations. I'm sure we had that shit. A peasant can never marry somebody from the royal family. It's a classic story. And what if
It's Aladdin.
humans begin having, we are already having relationships with their
Yeah.
machines, but what if a legal a legal argument for it
Yeah.
has to be, you know,
I thought you were gonna say like a legal marriage or
it
something.
could be, who knows, some dude or girl would probably want to marry their machines or their
Wow.
AI.
That's wild.
I'm open to that. I probably won't do it because, I'm so used to this human experience. So, but I'm not privy to the idea.
Yeah.
I because throughout history, the way I've read it, it just happens. And for now, this is a taboo thing. But I'm telling you, in decades from now, and or even at least within 100 years, that's what they say. I'm just listening to them. I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
Again, we don't have the answers.
Right,
We're
right.
just asking questions. So bear with us, because
Just asking questions.
I'm
Right,
just
right.
another, listen,
How many questions have we asked so far? It's only been 5 minutes.
yeah, oblivious human on this planet who doesn't
We got
have
no
any
answers over
clue.
here.
But I'd like to ask the questions, and
Yeah.
those are one of the things that we're gonna explore, since this is Tatay time, exploring the world of fatherhood with
Yeah.
philosophy, science, and art. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this or tonight's episode. We're just getting started.
Yeah. Streaming all the way from the southern Philippines,
Yep.
Cagayan de Oro City. Shout out. Pick up your garbage, people.
Yeah, garbage. And we were talking about the other night, we were having a conversation about consumerism, I think.
Yeah. We've had several of
And
those
yeah,
because it is a rabbit hole that's we're not going to go that deep on it.
yeah.
But it's an issue for sure when there's so much marketing and misinformation and kind of even just being straight up naive of what's available in the market and then what's actually good for us. Apparently, you know, whatever is good for you can be overlooked in our food market, in our industry of food. There's a lot of corruption and crazy money that goes into marketing, psychological research of how to
Manipulate
literally, yeah.
every
If
one.
people don't know why places like KFC, Jollibee, McDonald's, they all use similar colors, that's not by accident. There is real research to go behind that on what colors to use, how to design things in a way that's going to get you in and out and spending money as fast as possible. And there is millions and millions of research that go into it every year and that continue to go into what people buying. And it's insane how deep it goes to the political level for just something like candy, like there's corruption over soda.
Yeah.
We'll get into that one day, but
Yeah.
one of the things that because our daughter's in second grade at this point. So by this grade, the kids, this is actually like a transition, first time they've been face to face since the pandemic. And so now they're bringing their lunch boxes and snacks, and kids get to compare. And
Compare.
yeah, you get to take a look at what's being offered in the canteens, what kind of food the kids have access to, and it is ridiculous. It is just nothing good for you at all. It's like even if you found vegetables, it would be mixed with
Something
something like
else.
bulad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like a ridiculous menu of stuff that the kids have to compare themselves to. Like, oh, they have this and they're eating that. And if you're a parent that actually cares about what your kid is eating, because it's very clear that there are a lot of parents that don't care, and maybe some just don't have the time to care.
Yeah.
Which I understand. Like there's some parents that are doing some serious hustles, and hats off to them. But man, pay a little bit more attention to what you're giving your kids, because there's some shit out there. Just like in a bag of Skittles, you would think, what's wrong with a bag of Skittles? And turns out one of the dyes of those colors is super toxic, and you're just letting your kid eat it every day, right?
I like the rainbow though.
Yeah, eat the rainbow, bitch, and get your diseases. But
Supposed to be bright and rainbow
yeah,
themed to attract you as
yeah,
a kid.
it's
And you like colors, right? So
yeah, exactly. You
gotta
like
give them some
bright colors, right,
tips.
kid? Take this. So yeah, it's sometimes be trying to create some content of making people aware of these kind
Mm,
of things. Sometimes it feels like an impossible battle. Like there's
mm.
just it's like trying to win a boxing match against a swarm of bees. Like good luck, bro.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna win that one. Sometimes it feels like that. So uh I got reminded recently of because I try to advocate for consumerism and awareness basically of
Mm.
what people are what's available out there. And there is some interesting comment, and it's in Tagalog actually, so you'll probably have to be the one to read it.
Okay.
But what we can do is just watch the video, and then you can read the comment
All right.
in
Sure.
Tagalog.
I'll try to translate it as best as I can. I'm not good in Tagalog, but
Yeah, I'm sure you're better than me. That's
um,
no doubt about that.
okay lang, pare.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
Basta Bisaya, gahi og dila daw ingon
I
nila.
know. Bigat.
Oh, bigat.
Yeah,
Bigat.
bigat.
There's a certain
Okay.
flow to Tagalog that's
Yeah,
just, I don't
yeah.
know. I
It's
just try to,
sexy, bro. Bigat. Yeah.
Bisaya is more, let's say, just, it sounds a bit harsh, I think.
Just for some background, uh, on TikTok, the wife and I we started a profile channel. I don't even know what to call it these days. There's like I don't know, it's a channel, a stream, whatever.
Mm.
It's a profile on TikTok, and we're advocating for less waste lifestyle. And this is the catch line is she's zero waste, he's plant based, and so we do a little bit of advocacy for waste reduction, and then there's some plant based stuff on here. So this is one of the plant based videos that I posted, and it's a interview. It's a highlight of an interview. It's like 15 seconds long of a gastro doctor. What do you call it? Gastrologist? I guess something like that.
It sounds bloated to me.
Yeah,
Gastro.
exactly. Basically, he's an expert with the
All
intestine.
right. Okay.
But we're not associated with this guy in any way, but because he does have a book, it's a full disclaimer, we're not associated, but it stirred up quite a few comments and reactions from people because it doesn't just for those that are just listening to this, the video kind of I made text pop-ups of different foods while he's talking about this subject. So we'll just watch it for now, so I can.
The World Health Organization has classified processed meats as a carcinogen, not a probable carcinogen, but a carcinogen. What this means is that their scientists, some of the world's leading scientists, sitting down and doing a complete review of the evidence, have connected the consumption of this food to the development of cancer. From my perspective, recognizing that I, as a gastroenterologist, am the person who has diagnosed colon cancer throughout my career, it's heartbreaking.
That's we got some trolling like who wants to trust the World Health Organization, which I totally understand. Like there's been news with the corruption within the organization, but you can't just blanket statement just because there's some corrupt people within an organization. You can't say the entire organization, right? That'd be if you did that with people, you'd be racist, right?
Yeah.
So you can't really use that argument. So we had trolls like that, but there was one. I don't know if this is a troll or not, but you can read it. Can you read it from there?
I have to get near. Wait. All right. Bawal pala yan. Bawal pala yan. Bakit hinahayaan? Ibenta at, wait, mabili ng, what the hell is that to go? Tao, mabili ng tao. At may nutrition facts pa. Seems like you're saying, kung Bisaya pa hindi na pwede or that cannot be, something like that. Bakit hinahayaan? Why are you letting them ibenta at mabili? sell and so, wait. Mabili ng tao. What the hell? Holy shit. At my nutrition facts pa. Jesus, I don't even know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, when the wife translated it, she's the way I understood is the person is saying something about well, why basically why can you buy it if there are nutrition facts or something like that? Does that sound about right? Or
Uh, I don't
like
even
there
know
are
what
nutrition facts
there.
on
Yeah,
this food, so why are you saying that it's toxic?
yeah, or kung bawal, kung mapalit daw siya, something like that. If you can
If
buy
you can
it,
buy it,
yeah, if you can buy it, and why is it illegal, something like that,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
illegal to sell that I think she's saying like, okay, you're selling something since it's legal to sell, so
yeah.
why is it wrong,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
That
it
was my
even
understanding.
has nutrition facts. So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
nutrition
yeah.
facts are there, but I think what you're trying to mean, if I'm not mistaken, is that it doesn't mean that if it's just legal to sell, then it's okay, right?
Mm,
Like morally or even ethically,
right,
right? So that would be my response to,
right.
at least, or the way you were saying it. I'm just trying to kind of relay
Yeah, yeah. I
the
think
meaning behind the
the
context behind.
the question or the comment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the comment.
Yeah, I think at the very least these I mean, if you look at the tobacco industry and their products that they sell are carcinogenic, and they are forced to put pictures of people who have diseases on their products, which
Mm.
which is like, you should be putting them on these products as well.
Yep.
Why
Okay.
um and that's because of all the corruption
Yeah.
that exists within the food industry. Like people, I don't know if this is a troll or not, it could be, right? Like, but if they're serious, then they don't really understand
Mm.
the reality of how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, and just to like encapsulate it with consumerism, I think, yes, I think in a way I agree that even those cigarettes, I'm just making an example. Like, I know it's bad ethically, everything,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to have the power to buy it
Yeah,
whenever I
if you
want
want to.
to,
Yeah, if you want
right?
to.
So consumerism, I think, also
You
has this
have rights.
responsibility, rights and responsibilities as a consumer, as an individual, that I know what I'm purchasing, or at least have an idea. We don't have answers. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is just us trying to communicate that sense of responsible consumerism, I
Mm.
think, right?
Yeah.
So it's not really something that we impose on people, or even if I unsa na, disagree with the statement, or unsa na, but we do have the option, at least, right?
Yeah, I think when the products they cross so many ethical lines, I mean,
Mm,
it's fine to have free choice of whatever it is you buy. But I mean, just the fact that, you could pick anything. I mean, just look at the way animals are treated in
mm,
the food industry. There are so many different ways that so many ethics are violated, and
yep.
it's a terrible thing that it's allowed, because there's so many different ways that we
Mm,
can innovate and
yeah.
engineer things.
Have you heard they made some type of lab meat from an actual cow? You don't have to kill it now.
Yeah,
You can just
yeah.
extract a piece of the cow. It's still invasive in a way, but it doesn't kill the cow
Is
for
it
now.
available to buy?
No, it's just an experiment thing. Karon
Oh,
nga ilagay
okay,
buhat into
okay.
the lab. So now they can grow out of that meat
Mm.
from a lab,
Hmm.
a piece of meat that you can eat or
Hmm.
enjoy without having to kill the animal
Yeah,
or
it's
having it suffer that much. It's still, you're still, would you like somebody to take a piece of you just so they get
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
There's still an ethical issue there, but it's getting more, at
Mm.
least, being sensitive to the idea of a world that we can minimize the amount of violence that we inflict upon
Mm.
each other, not just ourselves, but even with other inhabitants. Death still goes on no matter what you do, but we at least try to find ways, be creative, right?
Mm.
In minimizing that. So there are people working on that on the bright side, Lugaro.
Yeah,
Looking at the bright
I
side.
definitely have to believe in human ingenuity.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's a
Just a
it's a
matter
real
of
amazing thing at the end of the day. But in terms of some of these things that just violate humans and influence what you buy,
sucks to see, right?
is crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
good. It is.
And then what worries
Jesus.
me the most is not just that there is the all the corruption, is that people just are not aware of
Uh-huh.
what they're looking at when they go to the grocery store and they're shopping for their kids, they're shopping for everybody in the family, and we're all eating this shit that's allowed to make us sick.
Yeah. That's why you have good content in your sa imong
Some of it I
I think
can't
most of it, I probably
very
watch.
few.
Yeah, I watch all of it. I think when you post mga kung ano mo content in your mostly in TikTok, right? TikTok,
Mm,
Instagram.
yeah, IG.
Yeah, sa koan because you
Just recently
actually
IG, but mostly on TikTok.
yeah,
Yeah.
you actually talk about stuff that not a lot of people are aware of or even try to
Yeah, like
log
aqua
in.
flask gaskets, bro. Like I
Yeah.
had no idea that people wanted to know more about gaskets. I was like, wow, people are really passionate about the
Mm.
fucking gaskets.
Well, good.
TikTokers want to know some details.
But one difference, because I think I've mentioned this before, is that yeah, you can talk about it. Why not? But difference is you actually practice what you preach, which
It's
is the
difficult.
content
It's so
itself. It's difficult. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not
so
perfect.
difficult.
I'm proud. I'm one of the biggest offenders in all the things that we talk about or we hate about. I still fucking eat whatever, even though I'm against it ethically in my mind, but I can't help it. I'm addicted to meat.
Mm.
But in my mind, ethically, I understand. I'm all for it. You know, the whole when vegans talk about it, ang ilang unsa ni. That's why I can't be one, because I can't let go of the idea.
But there's lab meat now.
Yeah, there's slab meat now. If
Yeah.
there is an alternative, I will take it.
Yeah.
Like
That sounds
fucking
like we don't know the long-term health effects
Yeah, but-
of lab meat, which will be interesting, right? Because
we're all gonna die anyway. So if it
yeah,
tastes the
I don't
same,
know. It's not probably not for
Yeah.
me. Good.
take it.
Yeah, I mean
it.
it's an option,
Yeah.
right? It's a if it
Rather than having to
violates so many earthlings.
which I know every time I eat something that happens. Our ancestors have done that for thousands of years, millions, possibly billions. No, still going on. Probably will never stop.
What do you mean?
The
Still-
whole
The ancestors slaughtered?
yeah, the whole nature thing.
Oh,
you
not
you
on this
gotta
scale, though.
fucking
I
yeah,
mean,
but
it's
on
like-
this scale that we're engaging in this moment is kind of ridiculous. I don't know. It's too much.
Oh, there's so much ridiculous things going on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I don't understand. There's too much dancing going on TikTok. We should be talking more about all this ridiculous stuff that's happening in the world, because apparently not enough people know. I was like, I hope this person is just ignorant to say, just there are nutrition information on the package, so why shouldn't I eat it? Which is that's a that was I had to take a step back and I was like, people are still that ignorant, like
Yeah.
that can't be like that. This needs to change. That's not good. I mean, that's alarming, right? That's
Yeah. But then the challenge becomes, how do you communicate that to the general audience who I
Yeah.
think or
Bro,
to even your whoever
Without-
you're communicating with. I find it difficult because
oh
like
yeah,
when I think
super
about
difficult.
I wish each and every day, each and every night, or even during the day, people would look up more in the stars, the sun, just appreciating the heavens itself and our place in it. But most people have mundane things to do. I have mundane things to
Every
do each
day.
and every morning. We're all like zombies, just following the whole herd, looking for things to consume. That's the whole shtick with zombies, if people aren't aware of it. George Romero, one of the greatest directors of all time, in my opinion, filmed Night of the Living Dead a long
Yeah,
time
dude.
ago, sometime in
Yeah.
the 70s, I think, or 60s, was
Yeah.
it? I forgot. And
The
then
remakes were still
yeah, and
awesome
then there's
too.
the Dawn of the Dead, the
Oh,
original, not the
yeah, yeah,
remake. The
yeah.
remake is good, but
Yeah.
his whole thing was that the whole movie, especially for Dawn of the Dead, was inside a mall.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So the theme there is about consumerism.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I think about zombies, I think about those themes that were created with that genre itself. A horror, it's a horror thing, it's a gore thing, but that's how fucking gory we are with consumerism. And I think that film, so everybody should watch that movie, man, especially the original
Oh
one from
yeah.
George Romero. In my opinion,
Yeah. That's so awesome.
that's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, there's
Yeah.
Day of the Dead, anything from George Romero, just watch
An
it.
ultimate consumerism
Yeah,
message.
but it's a smart movie, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you really think about it.
Even just as a zombie movie.
Yeah, it's just as another zombie movie, but at that time the practical effects was just through the roof,
Yeah.
and it was just intestines that they used from
Yeah.
actual animals who are dead, of course.
Oh sure.
So
Sure.
when the zombies are eating you, it
Oh.
really felt like skin and bones.
Yeah.
And
Damn, that must have smelled
yeah,
so bad. But
grabe,
every
actors had to
day,
go through that shit.
every day, just like
So-
some rotting intestines, and these intestines are rotting, man. We need to get this out of here. Like, oh,
yeah.
that's a terrible smell.
Oh, gani.
Oh.
And that's for me. I think zombies are it evolved to the whole zombie genre thing. It started from that. Even way before that, there were stories about zombies reanimating the dead and all. It's a common theme, but now zombies are becoming more sophisticated. It became faster. Some are smarter. Some zombies are different. Now we have The Last of Us, which I can talk about in another episode. But for now, yeah. Talking about consumerism, it's just us scaring ourselves with that whole idea of being mindless individuals or part of a herd, just following the shit, looking for humans to eat and feed to keep us alive in our dead, reanimated bodies.
Yeah,
and the
walking
original
around and you're
hosts
dead.
of that body are now gone, extinct, right?
Yeah.
So that is just a reflection of who we
Mindless
are.
meat.
Yeah, an artistic representation.
Yeah.
That's how powerful films are.
Oh,
so I think now, if you're a content creator, we're definitely not content creators.
We're creating
but
content
we're
right now.
just creating experiences for ourselves. But if
Really
you're a
for our
content creator, be
kids.
aware of those. At least be aware of those kind of themes when you create something, not just mindless shit that you just got to do it just because people expect you to share what you're having for dinner, for lunch, if you're shitting in the morning, fucking whatever. Sometimes most people just don't care, right? that
I think that's what you're pointing out, though, is like what's generally recommended to start on social media or content creating is you pick what they call the niche, right? Like you don't just make videos of all these random things that are happening around you.
That's just me. I'm not telling people not to, of course,
but it makes sense.
It's
like what you're saying about themes and
yeah,
stuff.
you have all the right, even if you want to fucking show your titties or your butt or whatever. That's your thing. I'm just saying there are better ways that we can handle the shit that we are having right now. Better, modest ways. There you go. People need more modesty. This world needs more modesty, I think.
Less twerking. I mean,
I'm just old school. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You want to take a break?
Yeah, sure. Where were we? I forgot.
It's probably worth saying that I don't go around judging people or parents for what they give their kids, but I think there's just a lack of awareness, I think, is really the issue. And it can really go to that point where, if these toxins that are in these foods are being fed to our kids, and then they really should be putting some kind of something on the package, right? So, at the very least, so people are aware.
Warning, something like that.
Yeah.
This is gonna kill you.
Yeah.
This is poison.
Yeah.
Or something like at least if they can talk, or they can at least show you a message.
Yeah, and that's the reason why organic is more expensive, because it's not the norm. The norm should be the organic stuff, but it's a bit backwards right now. So hopefully that'll change. I think it people have at least the messages that were going out when I was working in the farmers markets, that people are getting more aware of these issues. So I think is the more of us that will speak about it and share it amongst our peers and our groups and circles, then the better. So if, for people that are aware should be making an attempt to make people aware around them instead of just making some dance bullshit video,
Yeah.
doing some whatever, just nonsense. I mean, there's enough nonsense in real life to make some content around, I guess, is what I've experienced so far. I mean, that's why I tell the daughter, like, real life is already interesting enough. Like, I don't need to, I don't need to like imagine crazy things because there's so many crazy things happening around us already.
That is
But I don't judge parents, so that's the bottom line. That's what I'm
mm,
trying to get to.
yeah. You can do your thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
Hats off to the parents that are busy hustling. I mean, whatever,
the way you see it, there's a different way that you see.
there's something that needs to change within the system itself. It's
Mm,
not the parents, right? Like you can't blame I can't blame you for using plastic because
mm,
it's just part of the system, right? There's a larger system, but we have to speak with our dollar. It's like we can't accept certain things as much as practically possible.
mm,
Change and be aware of the purchases that you're making.
mm. And then try to have them practice that idea,
Yeah.
right?
Just reduce
Mm,
and speak with your dollar. Like, you don't, if you're going to shop for snacks, go to the Pasalubong area and
mm,
support the local snacks, that came from Bukidnon, that came from, Cotabato or whatever. And those are usually better for you because they have less you notice when you buy like rosquillos or patatas, it's not colored, right? So you already know just by the fact that there's no color, that there's no food coloring. That's
mm,
why it's brown and kind of plain looking,
mm,
which is not as attractive to the eye. But when you only have like 3 4 ingredients in the snack, you it's better than going to the chip aisle and you have a bag of chips that and they have like a dozen ingredients and half of them are chemicals.
mm.
Right. So why not just feed those to your kids instead? It's like, no, I'm not telling anyone to like stop eating certain things or whatever. Just like be more aware of what's behind it and
Mm.
what you're feeding to your family. And I think we all have a responsibility as consumers to be aware. And there are independent information out there. Like Consumer Reports is that's kind of like that's what they do, right? They give you
Mm.
independent research. So there are industry insiders that have that kind of information that definitely
Mm.
publish that and make that a consumer awareness. So it's an important thing because there are definitely things on the market we shouldn't be consuming.
Yeah. But the problem is finding time to do it, right? A lot of people just don't have the time to just um think about those shit. It's just like, how can I get through the day?
Yeah,
And
sure.
then it becomes a thing where the most convenient option will always present itself
Mm-hmm.
as the only option
Uh-huh.
for today. So, okay, I'm gonna do Food Panda
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
today because it's the most convenient
Right,
one.
right. You're busy, right? The
And
people are busy.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you have some extra dough, then you can pay the extra.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can ride a bike,
Right, right.
take a walk,
Mm-hmm.
going to the place, pick up the order, but most people don't have time for that, which I understand.
The convenience is
Yeah,
too
the
it's
convenience is
too
just too
inviting.
inviting. There you go. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can find time, I think, to do that once in a while, or even most of the time, if you can. I'm not saying I am doing that. I should be doing that.
It's accessible though. I mean, like
Mm,
let's say you're shopping at the grocery store and you're looking at your milk
mm,
and you don't you're looking at the plant milks and there's soy milk and there's rice milk and then you see almond milk. Like you could think to yourself,
Mama's
oh
milk.
yeah, there's mama's milk. That would be awesome. The almond milk is actually not just what you were reading about the other day. They're like high in certain chemicals,
Mm,
but they also use a lot of water, right? It consumes so much water to make almonds happen.
mm,
And in addition to all the chemicals that go into that, because it's monocropped heavily in
mm.
California. So you could just think to yourself, oh, I'll just go with the soy milk or something like that, or I'll go with the rice milk or
Mm.
something. I mean, it could be that simple, right? It doesn't have to be like anything
Yeah.
complicated.
But you are a conscious consumer. So
Yeah,
that makes the
but
difference.
everyone could be like, I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
nothing,
That's
I'm not,
why.
I'm not like an outlier or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
why I like the idea of that, of practicing being a conscious consumer.
Yeah, just practically, right? Like
Yeah.
there's nothing extreme about what I'm doing. I'm not a doomsday prepper.
Mm.
I don't have a bunk somewhere or
It's a
anything like
matter of
that.
practicality,
Yeah.
right? In
It's
terms,
just working with the system
yeah.
as that I'm in it, right? Like we're plugged in, man. We're
Yep.
just we're just trying to navigate this with the least amount of waste possible.
Yeah.
Like I think that's uh
Because you love this place too much, right?
yeah,
For you
it's
to
an incredible
just
place for sure.
for you to just leave it dusty
Oh yeah.
and fucked up.
I mean, look at it this way. We all have the same house.
Mm.
This is everyone's house.
Hmm.
Like there, where are we going, people?
Yeah, right.
We're going nowhere. We live in the same house.
Clean your room
Yeah,
first,
right.
and then start with that, and then you can clean the house,
Yeah.
the rest of
Let-
the house.
let's clean
When
together.
you
Let's clean
manage
the
it,
house together.
yeah, clean the yard. If your neighbors are cleaning their shit, you can clean the whole neighborhood together.
Yeah.
But it starts within. And I think that's what you're trying to at least practice,
Uh,
which I personally admire.
yeah.
I try to,
Communicate it in a way.
yeah,
Yeah, through the video
yeah, I try to.
platform. Yeah.
My wife is a better, a cleaner person, human
Usually,
in terms of physical cleanliness.
yeah.
But I have to argue because she consumes as well. I think I'm more
Everybody does.
conscious.
Everybody does.
Just my personal claim. This is not the truth. I think I'm more conscious in consumerism than her. We argue about it sometimes.
Okay.
When I try to recycle things, yeah, they call me a hoarder,
Okay.
or I don't want to throw this away. Maybe I can use this 10 years from now.
Right.
But yes, it's unhealthy to be a hoarder as well, which I
Sure.
understand that when I'm keeping things, it may be unnecessary, and it could be true that I'm just cluttering the room, but sometimes I just, perhaps I could use this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about a zip tie
Oh yeah.
an hour ago
Right.
before we started this
With our
recording.
ghetto setup.
Yeah,
here.
that because we're tying this camera right now to a zip tie, but then
Zip ties.
after this, we would have to cut it and then throw it away.
Throw it away.
So I was
It's plastic too.
I was talking about a reusable zip tie, which exists. It's online. You can purchase it, but every zip tie should at least be reusable in some way, right?
Yeah. Because it's so cheap, that's why people buy
Or most
the
zip ties
disposable one.
at least, yeah, because some zip ties are better off permanently placed for safety or whatever you want to, but it should be at least reusable. You can
Yeah.
take it off and then within
The cheaper one should be the reusable one. Not shouldn't be the other way around.
Yeah.
The more expensive, the true cost of something, I think, is a bit backwards, right? Like why is the chemically treated produce cheaper than the organics? It shouldn't be the other way.
economics, but still,
Should be the other way
jeez.
around. Yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah,
But still, right? It
yeah,
doesn't make
that
it
shouldn't be
right.
it shouldn't be the norm.
It
should be
doesn't
the
make
norm.
it
Yeah.
right.
Right.
That's what you're trying to
The true
at least,
cost
yeah, the
of a
true
purchase,
cost. Yeah, that's a
the
good one.
purchase, yeah.
A true cost.
I
Yeah,
think that,
it
yeah.
may be, it's costly, but then years from now, decades from now, what's gonna be the true cost of that?
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the true cost of a sachet, right? Like people are still finding people post pictures and memes online about sachets that were from like 30, 40 years ago. They're just finding them on the beach, like in the soil or something like that.
It's like a Pokemon card.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
like
just get it virtually, right? When you're playing that game what's that? A Pokemon Go or something? I haven't played it before, but it was popular a few years ago. It's like finding those, right? Ah, look what I have.
Yeah.
A 1986 sachet
Yeah.
from Palmolive.
One day, that just made me think one day you'll be able to scan it with a camera and then it'll play like the old commercial or
Oh,
something like
that's a
that.
good
Yeah,
idea.
that would be
That would be an awesome
ridiculous.
app, right? The whole history of this sachet or this
Yeah.
piece of
When
garbage.
it came out into the
Yeah.
market, like
There's gonna be, here's a prediction that I think you're getting at. There's gonna be like a garbage museum in the future. We're still alive
yeah.
as his PC, where
Hmm.
all the garbage in the world has an history in itself, and you can just scan it. It will show you, right, where it is from,
Yeah.
when was this produced or manufactured or some shit. That would be awesome though.
Yeah.
AI can do that, I think,
Sad and
in
awesome
the
at the same
future.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what technology is. It's sad and awesome, literally.
Well, good. Now we're consuming more information, I think. So there's still a level of consumerism there that we're trying to figure out the way we consume information, data.
Yeah, next topic I'll probably talk about the household being a billboard ad.
Mm,
I'll bring that up in the next episode.
yeah. So,
Probably we'll be doing a breakdown too of the recent Strongman
oh
competition.
yeah. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah,
You mentioned you had videos, or at least somebody has videos.
there's a vlogger that did a really good video.
Yeah. Check that out, man.
We could use some like a reaction to
Yeah,
his content.
we're gonna do that episode because it's interesting because for me it's good that there's someone I know who's, at least you're challenging yourself, and it was um well, when we talked about it, almost like a mismatch in a
Yeah.
way, but you were able to hold your own against these young dudes from the mountains. We're not saying we're better because we live in the city, but they're
Yeah.
better at a lot of shit,
Yeah.
including being strong man.
Definitely being strong.
And so that
Definitely.
was an interesting for me.
That was a clear win for
Yeah, but you held your own. I've seen the videos, I've seen the competition. So yeah, it doesn't mean that we can't challenge ourselves or even challenge other people. So now I'm kind of inspired in my own way
I was
to challenge
inspired. The champion is 55 kilos.
God damn.
The winner of the strongman competition is 55 kilos. I asked him, I was like, pila yung timbang ba? Yung siya 55. I was like, damn, man. But his like I was telling you, his head is smaller, but his forearms are like the size of his head. Huge forearms. So I got inspired. I was like, wow, this guy is super strong. And he's 55 kilos.
Yeah.
He won, just took that competition, 10,000 in cash, man.
Jesus. Yeah. I've seen his moves too.
Yeah.
It's insane, man.
Yeah. For me, I mean, considering 8 years ago, I was in bad shape. You know, I was in a place where I wasn't even sure that I was sickly.
Yeah, you talked about it in
wheezing all
your
the
seminar,
time.
right?
Yeah.
You should post that online.
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten to that
All
yet.
right, but yeah, if you're listening
That's
right
my
now,
next one.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
a
got
good one.
long list of videos I need to edit. Yeah, I was in bad shape at that time. So to even consider how long that's taken me to get to this point has been it's been interesting, and it's been life changing. You know, I had no idea this is where it would take me. You know, I had no, I would never have predicted. I thought sports was going to be a thing of the past because I was like, you know, getting activity and less because I had to deal with wheezing all the time and I had low energy. And then just the fact that, you know, you don't even know if you're going to wake up tomorrow because you might die, you know, this night, because every night you're wheezing and it sucks. So for me, just to be able to have, you know, our daughter there and cheer for me, and that was the real prize for me, was to be able to hear her, you know, cheering for me, even though she knew like these guys are huge, like these guys are so strong. Like I'm sure it probably went through her mind, like he's probably not going to win, but like she you know, she cheered for me, so I really appreciated that.
That was a good more than enough.
Yeah, that was definitely more than, considering what I had.
At least she sees you trying, and exerting a lot of effort for that activity, which is not a cakewalk, I think.
she's not aware of
Mm,
what shape I was in when I was in at my worst
mm,
because she had just been born. So that's why it was so I probably call it a traumatic experience
mm,
because those two things, getting diagnosed with asthma and having our child come into this world happened within the same year. So it was
mm,
so dramatic of an experience. It was just so rewarding to be able to do a competition. Like I haven't joined a competition probably in 10 years, probably at
mm,
least,
mm,
through that whole period of having a child being diagnosed with asthma and then going through that plant-based transition and getting to a point now where I can perform physical activities to a competitive level has been a long road.
yeah.
It's been a long road. There's been a lot going on. I mean, for everybody, right?
Yeah, yeah. Definitely.
For everybody in the
Mm,
past 8 years, especially in the past 2 years with the pandemic and stuff and people's personal lives and
mm,
things like that. So it's been wild to be able to even join something, be participating in something like this. And
mm,
I'm not nothing against the dude that got last place, but it makes me happy. Sorry that I didn't get in the last
mm.
place. I
Yeah, yeah.
obviously didn't win the prize,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm
You were trying to
yeah,
be
yeah,
first, not
yeah,
not middle or last, but that's
yeah.
the best you can do at that moment, right?
Yeah, well,
Uh,
well, the breakdowns will be for the athletes kay next year daw gusto sila madayon gyapon
mm,
ang event. So they want to expand on the competition and add events, which is going to be pretty interesting
mm,
because those strongman events are quite technical, even though sometimes it might not look like it because the guys are so massive.
yeah.
You watch like the Scottish games, the original, you just like looking for inspiration and you watch the highlights of the Highland Games is the original. They call it the Bukid Highland Games, our Pinoy style. But you see the original. These guys are massive people.
Yeah.
Wow, man. They do some incredible things. So go check those videos. There's plenty on YouTube and
Mm,
stuff. It's a really interesting event. Very, very technical, actually. During the breakdown, we'll talk about why some of the athletes were injuring their shoulders during some of the events. Why some of those things are prone to that. So there is a lot of technique to these things, but a big part of it is being massive and strong,
mm.
obviously.
Yeah, and to add to that, do you think we need more than ever to exert more effort physically? Exercise, sports. I know a lot of people are into esports. I'm nothing against that, or gaming, or being online, competing there. That's your thing. But do you think we need it more than ever right now? Unsani.
Mm,
Um, for
yeah.
me, because it definitely works. I mean, just challenging yourself physically every day, trying to at least exert more effort, not just being online or wherever our disciplines are. For now, it's to be physically disciplined
Mm,
enough to undergo those what you're doing right now, diet and everything,
mm,
exercise, joining competitions. Do you think
mm,
moving forward in instilling that idea to the next generation, especially our children, do you think we need it now more
mm.
than ever?
Yeah, moving. The interesting thing is that we're moving further and further away from static technology, right? Like the computer tower is going to be a thing of the past,
Hmm,
and we're moving to a more mobile technology phase, right? Like it's where wearables are going to be everywhere now. Body cams are like a normal thing these days.
hmm,
So as the technology gets smaller, that it becomes more mobile, so you won't have to be sitting at a desk and doing these computing things, whatever it is people want to do on their computers.
hmm,
So movement will probably be a lot more maybe accessible because you'll have the mobility to do it, right? Like you
hmm,
can carry the technology with you wherever. It's in your clothes, it's in your glasses, it's in your car, right? It's
hmm.
everywhere. So that'll be interesting, how that allows people to adapt to moving more
more.
and being able to do that because the technology is mobile.
But technology is, I think, not really forcing us, but at least compelling us not to move that much anymore. If we have,
It could be that way. Yeah,
if
sure.
we are being
Sure.
right now, when we're working online or playing online, competing online, it's a competition, right? When
Sure.
you're playing multiplayer, at least with other human beings, it's a competition.
Mhm.
So yeah, I did some online gaming before, not competitively at least, but competitive in my own. I wanted to win every
Mhm.
time I
Yeah.
played. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna take this shit from this dude or from this team. I'm gonna try my
Right.
best to win this game.
Yeah.
But physically, I find it much more interesting doing that shit rather than online. Uh, because I know it's not healthy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die sooner if I do that all day, every day.
Well, if you get your hustle like that, right? Like let's
Mm.
say you're a professional and you get your hustle that way, you can still be a professional gamer and still take care of yourself.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Demetrius Johnson is a
right,
fucking
exactly.
is a
Yes.
savage gamer.
Yes. Yes.
His most at least MMA people I know consider him as one of the greatest of all time. If
Yeah,
not, probably John Jones.
definitely. He's
Him
up
and
there.
John Jones
He's
are
up
up
there.
there, yeah, on Mount
Nah, him and Khabib.
Rushmore.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know about Janda. I
GSP,
guess so, yeah. GSP.
Silva,
Um,
whatever, but Demetrius Johnson, he's a gamer, man.
he's up there, man.
He's a certified dun sa na, competitive gamer. So he's
Sikat.
really good in a lot of games. I haven't watched his streams, but anyway,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That
sikat getcha.
to add on to your statement that you don't have to be just a gamer. You
Definitely
can
not.
be
Definitely not.
like a physical guy,
Professional.
yeah, professional, and still do online. This is the
Sure.
balance, I think.
Sure. I respect that if you do it professionally, but if you're doing it, you're just wasting your life and you're ignoring, other people in your life that care about you or something like that. Maybe that's a little too unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
We
say so.
used to game a lot,
Keep your
right?
social interactions,
Mm.
get outside of the house and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Get some sunshine, see the sunset, go
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
beach,
We're getting
whatever.
old, man. We're
Yeah.
becoming the elders. I'm telling
Hey,
you.
man. You're-
Still enjoy gaming. I still do. I still play games, Karon, but not as much as I used to.
Sure,
I
sure.
enjoy other
Just
activities.
don't have the time, man.
Yeah. So in a
Your
way,
time is
if you're
valued differently
listening
now.
right now and you're a teenager or if it's our daughters still loving video games, yeah, it does get old at some point. The
Oh, it
whole
got old for me when I had to
yeah.
work at a company, a video game company. Man, playing games I dropped video games like never again after that. I was like, I can't
EA, let me guess.
yeah, yeah.
Something like that. A big corpo,
Big game
yeah, big
company.
game company, something like that.
Yeah, that'll ruin it for you when
Yeah.
you have to do it as your job. I mean, maybe for some people they still enjoy playing games even though they do it professionally, but it's too
Mm,
much, man. Like if you're gonna do it on your spare time plus your work time, like man, I
mm,
need to do something else.
yeah.
I go wacko. There are some days, you get the land going. People want to play Quake 3, like let's
Mm,
do some Counter-Strike
mm.
1.6, whatever, right?
Command and Conquer.
Get the Glock. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
you, son. I got the Glock this time. Knife you, son. You better watch out.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
NBA 2K, FIFA, played it before.
I mean, I'll play Mario Kart any
Yeah.
day. It's like
Oh yeah.
give me that controller, man. I'm gonna
Okay.
tear it up on Mario Kart.
Oh, not
Any
bad.
day.
Yeah, but physically we have to exert at least uh, sometime during the day, 30 minutes, 10 minutes. We shouldn't forget that, or they shouldn't forget that.
Mm.
We should teach our children, I think, to be more physically involved. It's
Yeah.
becoming a problem. Obesity is in the rise. A lot of things are unhealthy
I,
diets. I'm a
it's
culprit of
alarming.
that. Yeah.
I'm a victim of that too. I
Yeah.
mean, I was in my 30s getting diagnosed with asthma, and so I had a medical condition already in my 30s. That's alarming,
Yeah.
right?
It says a lot too, that considering how many percent of the population are starving right now worldwide. There's famine in some places, and in some places, obesity is a problem. It just happens to be. Your only problem is you just have too much to eat and no time to fucking. I mean, we got it good, man. I mean, this generation, that's why I'm perplexed even
About what?
about a lot of things. Like, I get access to water,
About everything.
I get access to food.
Yeah.
I can just order it through my phone whenever I want to, every time I have a craving. Jesus Christ. And there's still people that are starving in some part of this planet.
Yeah.
But,
It's
it's beyond my control. I'm not saying that I can do something about it.
The
But in a
system
way,
is messed up.
yeah, its system is messed up.
There's a serious error here.
Yeah, there's a whole imbalance going on. And when the lights are off, I'm sure they're going to be the ones who are going to survive, not us, because we're so used to comfort. We're so used to consumerism that we're going to be the zombies. They're going to be the survivors of this world.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who have the grit.
Yep.
Those are the ones who have the tenacity, who fucking just be there in the moment when they can survive and just exist. And we're going to be dead because most of us are so used to this thing. Like, all right, there's electricity, there's water, there's everything, food. All we have to think about is what kind of food do I have to eat today, tomorrow, the next day, so I can ship better food.
We got meal prepping, son. Meal prepping the whole week. The whole week. I got food the whole week.
Some people ask to hunt for it,
Yeah.
right? And we forget that.
Yeah.
That's why kind of for me it's important that we remember that shit that
we have too much access.
Yeah, we have too much access. I'm glad. And I think the lesson here is that since we are aware that we have access to it, then we take advantage of that access so we can create a better society, a better world, a better, cleaner environment or whatever. No matter what it takes, I don't know the answer to that shit. Some genius will figure it out soon.
But it's worthwhile thinking about.
Yeah, it's worthwhile thinking about it. And then trying to at least teach that to our children, to the next generation. Okay, boomer, that's what we're trying to do. Right?
Boomer.
We're here telling you that we fucked up this shit, and now it's your turn.
Yeah.
And try to be better than us.
Everybody did.
Yeah. We're just saying right now, this is what's happening. This is what we're observing with our society, with our world. It's fucked up. I'm part of the problem. We are all part of the problem. So, okay, let's solve this together.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's the next episode. We're gonna try to figure out some shit. Not figure out some shit. Ask more questions.
Ask more questions.
There you go.
I got lots.
We're
lots
just
more.
A bunch of dumb dudes here. We can't even figure out how to shit properly. So
we'll bring more references.
Yeah. So tune in. So if you like this content.
Yeah.
So tune in to the next episode. Thank you for hanging out with us. If you're still here, if you're listening, and peace be with us always. Thank you. This is Tatay Time. I'm Papa Loy.
Papa Ben.
Exploring the world of fatherhood, philosophy, science, and art. See you soon.